Sibel had gone too far for her former bosses. The FBI director handed the case over to the then Attorney General, John Ashcroft. Ashcroft's reaction was extreme.
On October 18, 2002, my 10th wedding anniversary, I was informed that the Attorney General, John Ashcroft, had invoked this rarely invoked privilege called the state secret privilege. Based on this privilege, everything that had to do with my case was considered top secret, classified, and a matter of national security, which requested the courts to put a stop in any process that dealt with my case, whether or not I was right or not.
State secrets privilege is an all-powerful political and legal weapon dating from the 1950s. In the wake of 9/11, it was a favorite of the Bush administration. Mueller and Ashcroft managed to block Sibel's lawsuits. The message was clear: keep quiet or go to jail. Gagged in the name of national security, Sibel said no more for 2 years.
It was like this awful, awful time. So I came to this point that nothing was going to happen. And during this time, they had just finished establishing the 9/11 Commission.
We must uncover every detail and learn every lesson of September the 11th.
Keen to unite the country at a time of conflict, the Bush administration agreed to a congressional commission of inquiry into September 11th. Its mandate included investigating shortcomings in U.S. intelligence agencies that had made the attacks possible.
This is the only hope we have, this 9/11 Commission report. They're going to say what's wrong. For example, with the FBI translation units, which a lot of things are wrong.
Behind closed doors, Sibel gave the commission her testimony, once again revealing all she knew. And the White House had just made its first mistake.
Condoleezza Rice had just come out and made the statement saying,
I don't think anybody could have predicted that these people would take an airplane and slam it into the World Trade Center.
To say that we had no specific information, that was an outrageous lie. And she's a national security advisor there. And all those people, they report to her to say we didn't have it. So when we came out of one of the 9/11 Commission hearings, 9/11 family members, they just pointed at me and they said, you know, she's one of those people who was outraged with the recent statement by Condoleezza Rice. And suddenly all these cameras started flashing on my face. It's like, well, what do you think of this statement? And I said, well, that was an outrageous lie. And then for the first time, that made all the headlines.
Her name is Sibel Edmonds.
Sibel Edmonds, can you repeat again the information that you have to substantiate?
And I gave an explanation. I said, she said we. We includes National Security Advisor, includes the FBI, the CIA, the NSA. That's what we means. And she said we.
Sibel's comments sowed the seeds of doubt in a nation yearning for truth. Condoleezza Rice was forced to backtrack on what she had said.
As I said to you in the private session, I probably should have said I could have not imagined, because within 2 days, people started to come to me and say, oh, but there were these reports in 1998 and 1999.
So that was the start of me outside, doing it outwardly, doing it more publicly, and doing it more visibly.
On the 24th of July, 2004, the 9/11 Commission released its report. America looked to it for the truth. But not one of the report's 567 pages made any reference to Sibel's claims.
Good morning. My name is Laurie Van Auken. On the morning of September 11th, my husband Kenneth was killed while at his office on the 105th floor of the North Tower at the World Trade Center. The 9/11 Commission's report is supposed to provide the definitive account of what had transpired on September 11, 2001. We hoped that our thousands of unanswered questions would be addressed and answered. Yet incredibly, we have found that the Commission's definitive final report has actually yielded more questions than answers.
That was like, oh, is this what we've been waiting for? Was going to put all the stuff and say what's wrong with the system and have individual accountability. None of those.
I want to know who the whistle blows for you.
What we got truly insulted the intelligence of the American people.
Get off the couch.
Violated our loved ones' memories.
Raise up your hand.
And might end up hurting us one day soon.
Time to take a stand.
I locked myself in this room for 3 days and started reading everything line by line.
Don't tell me that's just the way that it goes.
I was outraged.
I need to know what Sibel Edmonds knows. So do you.
National security whistleblowers tried to testify before the Commission, but were either not asked to testify or their testimony was only barely acknowledged, or worse yet, completely omitted from the record.
Take off the gag.
They complimented everybody.
Take off the gag. Don't let them hide behind their flag.
So politicians were very happy about it.
Get off the couch. Raise up your hands. It's a war of words, time to make a stand.
One whistleblower that we made sure the Commission met with was FBI translator Sibel Edmonds.
It's just the way that it goes.
Sibel is here.
I need to know what Sibel Edmonds knows, so do you.
This is just the biggest whitewash, and this is not what they promised they were going to give the American public.
There were 3 holes that I could see in this work of fiction. Testimony from people like Sibel Edmonds, the preparedness of our nation and the crime scene that was 9/11 was certainly not addressed as a crime scene. Very disturbing, very disturbing.
I mean, you know that when they're supposed to be doing this report on these agencies and they put it out, and the first reaction of the agency is complimenting it, you know something is really wrong.